Oh shit! Tank Davis is already practically at his fight weight before his fight has even been announced. The haters can't stand it. Let's chop this up. Let's dive in.
It seems like y'all should listen to the boy Ego just a little bit more. Gervonta Davis makes weight. What's shocking about that? He's basically at his fight weight, 138.4 pounds. He fights at 135, so that's basically making weight. But wait, there's only one small problem. His next fight hasn't even been announced. On top of that, Gervonta Davis has officially deactivated his social media. In this video, I'm going to break those things down. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. My name is Ego. I've been covering the sport of boxing over 10 years. The best in the business, and it's not even close. When you come to my channel, you get good visuals and video quality, audio quality, and most importantly, accurate, reliable information you could take to the bank. Now, speaking of Gervonta Davis, I told you the man is a star. I've been telling you, anybody who would listen, I said and uttered these words. Gervonta Davis is a star, and a lot of people, a lot of detractors, they try to hate on the message. They try to find a way to make this not true. You know, the usual suspects. Gervonta Davis continues to shut those people up because men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Gervonta Davis, him and Canelo, by far, are the biggest names in all of boxing. And it's not even close. Like, some people would even say, like, oh, but what about Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua, viral knockout. He's definitely made a lot of money in the sport of boxing, but he's fighting in Saudi Arabia, and he's fighting at like 2 p.m. my time. I'm in California, West Side, right? So he's fighting like 2:30 p.m. It's going to be hard to have that real star build when you're fighting that early. That is not prime time for the United States of America. Meanwhile, you got guys like Canelo. He has an upcoming fight, Jaime Munguia. I'll be talking about that more on the channel. And that's Cinco de Mayo weekend. So May 4th, that fight is taking place in the tourist capital of the world, Las Vegas. Gervonta Davis, the thing that's impressive is he's pretty much weighing in at his actual weight. At his actual weight, which is 135 pounds. And weight, Ego Weight Watchers, often imitated but never duplicated. Ego Weight Watchers, aka ILL, where I give you a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, and progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight. Now, we don't know, this is as of me recording the video, we don't know the actual date of Tank's fight with Frank Martin, but it's been heavily rumored, and that's where we're at. It's looking like Frank Martin will be next for Gervonta Davis. I love both of these things that I've seen recently. And see, the difference between me and them is on my channel, I'm always fair. I'm always objective. It's never nothing personal. It's always business. And that's what I give you. I have no problem giving criticisms. But that being said, I also have no problem giving praise. A lot of people who talk about certain fighters like Gervonta Davis, they have no problem hating on Gervonta Davis or saying he needs to do this and he needs to fight this guy and he needs to step it up and, you know, tank. Nothing they say is ever good, right? Some people have no problem dishing that out, and you can find it right on YouTube. You'll see people, they'll have incessant Tank Davis videos, daily videos of Gervonta Davis, and it's all like slanderous and speculation. Anything that's in the negative news cycle, regarding Gervonta Davis's name, they'll talk about it. Me, I don't duck or dodge. If Tank gets in trouble and there's a mugshot that comes out and an investigation or a storyline, I cover it. I do it to Tank, Jamal Charlo. When Errol Spence had, his accident, I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. But when it comes to Tank specifically, but also PBC fighters, I notice there's some people who they only share those pieces of news. Like if it's a PBC fighter or a certain people like Gervonta Davis. Other people, like let's say Joseph Jojo Diaz, he has a legal case right now. Those same people won't make videos about what Joseph Jojo Diaz is going through, but they'll make any negative video about Tank Davis. So Tank keeps finding ways to shut the haters up, and I love it. Tank Davis is showing you that he is at a point of maturation and maturity where he fully knows and understands his role as the face of boxing and a top level fighter. The reason I'm saying that is his fight has not even been announced and he's already pretty much at weight, which lets me know a few things. If he's weighing just over a hair over 138, he can go down to lighter weight classes. That's what that shows me, right? That shows me he can go to even lighter weight classes if he really wanted to. Now, I'm not suggesting he does that, because the more you go down in weight, the more sacrifices you have to make in terms of, maybe you have to eat less or eat even more hearty and nutritious foods or leaner or whatever the case may be. But it's an option. It's definitely an option if he so chose to do that. So I noticed this from the Haneyacks. I'm not talking about Devin Haney fans. I'm talking about the Haneyacks, the radical within Devin Haney's regular base, right? A lot of the Haneyacks, they keep bringing up the Tank fight. Look, it's a good fight, but I said what I said, and everything I said makes sense. Tank could make 130 if he really wanted to. Tank is the A side. Tank Davis is the man in boxing. So Devin was at the weight class of 135. He was undisputed. The fight made sense there. Devin Haney has since moved up in weight, and Devin Haney has a great win over Regis Prograis at 140. You look at Devin Haney, he's looking big. Like, he looks like he's filling out. The Regis Prograis fight I went to, and for the Regis Prograis fight, they said he rehydrated to 165 pounds. That's a lot of weight, people. That's definitely a lot of weight. 165 pounds for somebody who was in their very first fight at 140 pounds. So I've said the same thing, and I'm going to say it again in case you're new to my channel. I personally don't see the Tank Davis fight happening anytime soon, because you have, again, Tank being the A side. Tank is definitely locked in and focused. That's why he's deactivating his social. And a quick note on that, I wish every fighter, at least the top fighters that are at the stage of, making millions of dollars, if you touch $1 million, I highly suggest you deactivate your social when you have a fight coming up. Brilliant move by Gervonta Davis. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm not saying he's the only one that's done it. I think Tyson Fury, he does this for some of his big fights. Like, he hasn't really been on social media as much for the Usyk fight, but I know he's had like little blackout fights. But the point is, I think fighters should go off the grid for their big fights. Devin Haney's about to fight Ryan Garcia, and he's literally doing the opposite of what Gervonta Davis is doing. Some people call it promotion, but the stuff he's saying doesn't really promote the fight, at least in my opinion. So I don't really consider a lot of what Ryan Garcia is saying and doing promotion, because he's attracting a different base, like conspiracy theorists and, people who believe in aliens. And I'm not even going to get into all the stuff Ryan Garcia is saying. The point is, he's attracting people that transcend just the sport of boxing. And with that being said, are those people going to support him if he loses to Devin Haney? Are those people going to purchase a ticket for the Barclays Center to go support Ryan Garcia? So I'm talking about the people who believe in aliens, the people who believe in time travel, the people who believe in all these things that Ryan Garcia has said. Are you going to support the man? That's my question to you. So back to Tank. He's doing it right. Fight hasn't even been announced, and he's off the grid. He's nowhere to be found, deactivating his count. That's what you call locking in. And Tank, I think Tank had to go through some of his harder lessons to realize his role in this world. You have the power to change your whole community. I mean, he just bought his block, and you're one of the few people that I can think of that has made mainstream success from Baltimore, like big time. The only other who's from Baltimore, and I know I'm probably forgetting some people, but like I know Drew Hill is from Baltimore, so they made it to the mainstream. I've got this feeling, I just can't turn it loose, So Drew Hill, Tank, they're Los. I believe he's from the rapper Los. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of people from Baltimore, but Tank, he's really holding the torch. He's doing things the right way, buying his block. He's finding his faith and his religion, and he's getting the heck out of Dodge. Social media, I think in 2024, even including myself, I don't just say stuff unless it applies to me too. Practice what you preach. I'm trying to use social media less and less. Now, don't go to my pages like, oh, Boxingego, but I see you posting. This is my business. So I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about doom scrolling. There's no point to it. Get your bread up, get your money, take care of your family. But the social media stuff, it has to have a cutoff point. Some people are getting desensitized by social media, and that's more so what I'm talking about. So I love this notion from Tank to get off the grid altogether and just focus on the fight. I also think Frank Martin is a very dangerous fight. So if you're going to fight a guy like Frank Martin, you best be prepared. He's explosive. He's a southpaw. He has power. He looks at least massier than Gervonta Davis. So if the fight gets announced, heck of a fight. Basically do the opposite of Ryan Garcia, who's very visible and he has a lot of traction, but some of which not for the right reasons. So that's really my stance on that. But back to Tank's weight, him weighing barely over 138 and his fight isn't announced lets me definitively know he can make 130 pounds no problem. It's a personal choice to be fighting at 135, which again, for the Haneyacks, people who want to see that fight really bad, it creates problems because Tank's the A side, and I'm not saying he wouldn't go to 140 because he went to 140 for Mario Barrios. I'm not Tank's attorney. I'm just giving you my opinion. They seem to be headed in different directions. Devin looks like he's bulking up. He looked like right now, as he gears up for the Ryan Garcia fight, he looks big, like bigger than 140. And Ryan Garcia looks big. So Devin and his team have also talked about potentially fighting at 147 against the likes of Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios. There's a couple of names that have been floating around. Some people even threw out Jaron Ennis, I believe, and Terrence Crawford. I don't know how likely all of those fights are, but they've talked about fighting at 147. So Devin's future looks like it's definitely at 140. In the near future, it could be ascending to 147. But then you got a guy like Tank, super disciplined, in the gym right now. Fight hasn't even been announced. Fight hasn't been confirmed. And he already basically at weight, which I really like because there was a point in time where Tank, you see him and his face looked fuller and people were saying, oh, Tank's going to be the next Broner. But my question to you, and the ego final thought, keep it real with me. 2024, we exposing everything. All I need you to do, if you're a true boxing fan, is keep it real with the boy. Hold people accountable in this boxing game. the same element that lies and say Tank's fighting Abner Mares, he's fighting Campbell Hatton, or when he gets in trouble with the law, they post about it real quick and plaster his mugshot everywhere, or when his face looks full and they say, oh, Tank's big and Tank missed weight, he had to weigh in twice on the scale for the Gamboa. Those same people just make sure they are doing videos. But I have a strong feeling that I'm the only one on YouTube, or at least the first to of my stature, like bigger channels, to really even talk about this stuff. Because as of me recording the video, I'm like days behind. This Tank information came out a couple of days ago, but I've been busy doing other content, so I'm just now getting around to it. But as of right now, the Frank Martin fight hasn't been confirmed, but I love to see what I am seeing. Tank Davis looks locked in, ready to go, and he's getting off social media, which again is definitely a plus. Every major fighter, if you make millions of dollars, please get off social media, because boxing Twitter is only getting worse. The fans ain't got no chill. There's a lot of people that will just consistently pollute your brain and just put a bunch of like negative tweets. You should, if you're preparing for a big fight, you shouldn't be worried about negativity. That's part of my problem with the Ryan Garcia situation. Is Ryan Garcia, he keeps entertaining negativity. Oh, I'm blocking you, and why are you guys laughing at me? You should be focused on Devin Haney. But more videos to come, the best in the business, and it's not even close.